Gentlemen, allow me to be direct. Imagine placing gentle pressure on one hidden point of your body for just 60 seconds and suddenly feeling a surge of strength you thought was gone forever. I'm talking about restoring blood flow, sensitivity, and confidence in a way that feels natural, even if you are 60, 70, or 80 years old. This is not a gimmick. It is where modern medical understanding meets timeless wisdom, and it can reshape how you feel as a man. My name is Dr. Jonathan Prescott. I've spent more than 3 decades in urology and men's health, helping thousands of older men reclaim vitality they feared was lost. Across the years, I've listened to men, retired veterans, truck drivers, school teachers, lower their voices and admit the same struggle, fading strength in the bedroom. Some felt embarrassed. Others thought it was simply the price of age. But I've guided them toward proven, practical steps that restore hope and dignity. Most men believe when potency declines, there are only two options: rely on pills or learn to live with less. That belief is false. There is a hidden point on the male body, rarely discussed but respected in traditional medicine for centuries. Science now confirms its ability to influence circulation, nerve health, and pelvic strength. When stimulated daily, even for just 1 minute, it can awaken the systems that fuel erections and lasting vitality. In a moment, I'll show you where this point is, how to find it, and exactly how to massage it. But before we begin, I need your partnership. If you value this message, tap the like button right now. It may feel like a small gesture, but it helps carry this knowledge to men across America who quietly face the same struggles you do. And here's my promise. Every time you press that button, I'll send you something in return, 3 blessings from my heart. First, may that simple action bring you renewed strength in your body. Second, may it bring peace of mind, reminding you that you are not alone. And third, may it carry into your home, strengthening the bond you share with the woman you love or preparing you for the connection you still seek. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and type 1 in the comments if this resonates with you, or 0 if you want me to do better next time. I read them all. Together, we can build a community where no man is left behind. Now, let's begin by understanding why things start to change after 50, and why it's not the end, but the beginning of a new chapter. Gentlemen, let me speak to you as if you were sitting across from me in my office. I've seen the same story repeat itself hundreds of times. In your 40s, things still work without much thought. Then somewhere past 50, small changes creep in. Erections that once came easily now take effort. What felt steady and reliable becomes uncertain, sometimes fading halfway, sometimes not showing up at all. And the impact is not just physical, it cuts deep into confidence and the way a man sees himself. Many men tell me this feels like part of their identity is slipping away. They whisper, "Doctor, am I broken?" My answer is always the same: you are not broken. You are experiencing natural changes that happen inside the male body with age, but natural does not mean hopeless. The first change comes from the pelvic floor muscles. These are the hidden muscles that control both urination and erections. Past 50, they become a strange mix of tight and weak. Imagine an old rubber band, stretched taut but with no snap left. That tension restricts blood flow, while the weakness means erections can no longer be supported the way they once were. The second change lies in the blood vessels themselves. With age, arteries grow stiff and narrow. Erections depend on a flood of blood rushing into the penis. When vessels lose their ability to expand, firmness and staying power fade. The third shift involves nerves. Years of sitting, stress, inflammation, even scar tissue slowly compress the very pathways that carry signals of arousal. The result: sensation dulls, response time slows, and pleasure feels muted, like hearing your favorite song through broken speakers. Now, I know this sounds like a heavy list: weak muscles, stiff vessels, compressed nerves. But let me pause here. These problems are common, but they are not permanent. They are signals from your body, a request for stimulation, circulation, and attention. And here's the hopeful part. There is one specific spot on your body where these systems intersect. When you massage it properly, you can restore flow, awaken nerves, and reignite strength. Few men have ever been told about it, yet it may hold the key to turning decline into recovery. In the next section, I'll reveal exactly what that spot is and why for centuries it has been called the $1,000,000 point. Now that you understand why things begin to shift after 50, let me share something few men ever hear about, even in a doctor's office. There is a small hidden area on your body that carries remarkable influence over erections, prostate function, and bladder control. It's called the perineum, sometimes known in ancient traditions as the $1,000,000 point. It rests quietly in the stretch of skin between your scrotum and your anus, a place most men ignore until they learn how vital it truly is. For years, I overlooked it too. My training in Western medicine taught me to focus on pills, procedures, and surgeries, but decades of listening to patients and observing what actually restored their vitality forced me to pay attention. What I found was extraordinary. Think of the perineum as a crossroads where several highways of male health meet. Beneath that small patch of skin lie major blood vessels that supply the penis, the pipelines delivering the surge of blood required for a firm, lasting erection. Running alongside them are delicate nerves that carry the spark of arousal and pleasure up to the brain. Without those signals, intimacy feels muted, as if the volume has been turned down. Anchored in this very region is the root of the penis, and just above it sits the prostate, an organ that shapes not only sexual health but urinary function as well. All of these vital structures overlap in a space smaller than your palm. So when blood slows, nerves grow dull, or muscles tighten, it is often here at this intersection that the trouble begins. Here's the good news. By gently massaging the perineum, you can influence all of these systems at once. Blood flow improves, nerves reawaken, tension eases, and the prostate benefits from renewed circulation. Men who begin this practice often describe it as if a traffic jam inside their pelvis finally cleared and everything began moving freely again. That's why ancient healers gave this spot such importance. They saw it as a gateway to vitality, and today modern science is finally catching up, confirming its power to restore circulation, stimulate nerves, and balance the pelvic floor. But knowing about the perineum is only the beginning. The real question is, how do you find it, and what exactly do you do once you locate it? That's where the next part will guide you step by step. Now that you know the perineum is the hidden intersection of male vitality, the question becomes simple. How do you actually find it, and what do you do once you've located it? I want you to imagine this moment as if I were sitting in the room with you, guiding your hand the same way I've done for countless men before. The perineum lies in that quiet stretch of skin between your scrotum and your anus, right in the middle. At first, it may feel awkward to even touch this area. Most men have spent a lifetime ignoring it. But once you press gently with your fingertips, you'll notice a slight indentation, soft, a little tender, and sensitive in a way that tells you've found the right place. That tenderness is not danger, it is confirmation. Once you've located it, the technique is straightforward. Place your index and middle fingers together, then apply steady, moderate pressure. Imagine pressing a ripe tomato, firm enough to feel structure, but not so hard that it bursts. That is the balance you want. From there, begin moving in small circles, clockwise for 30 seconds, then counterclockwise for another 30. This 1-minute rhythm is often enough to stimulate blood flow and release hidden tension. Some men prefer a gentle up and down motion, almost like bouncing lightly on the spot. Others press firmly for 5 seconds, then release for 5, creating a pumping effect that seems to invite fresh blood into the area. The key is to avoid force. This is not a workout for your fingers, nor is it a contest of strength. Too much pressure will leave you sore and discouraged. Instead, think of it as sending a signal, an invitation for your body to relax, release, and open up again. Within a week or two, you may notice subtle changes, more warmth, a sense of release, even a gentle pulsing sensation as blood begins to return to areas that had been neglected for years. With practice, the movement becomes second nature, transforming from something awkward into a personal ritual of self-care. The beauty of this practice is its simplicity. No special tools, no expensive treatments, just your own hand, a comfortable position, and 60 seconds of focus. You can do it lying down, sitting, or even standing with one foot raised slightly for balance, whatever makes you comfortable. Now, while you can do this massage dry, there is a way to make it far more effective, comfortable, and even therapeutic. The right oils don't just reduce friction, they actually nourish and awaken the very tissues you're working on. In the next part, I'll show you which oils are most powerful and how they can transform this 1-minute massage into a ritual that restores vitality. While you can perform this massage with nothing more than your fingertips, I've learned through decades of working with men that using the right oil makes a remarkable difference. Oil is not just about comfort. It unlocks deeper healing, boosting circulation, calming inflammation, and nourishing tissues that have been ignored for too long. I still recall one gentleman in his 70s who tried the massage dry for a week. He admitted it felt awkward and not very effective. The moment he added oil, everything changed. Warmth returned, flow improved, and what once felt strange became a practice he looked forward to daily. Sometimes the smallest adjustment makes the greatest impact. So which oils do I recommend? At the top of the list is castor oil. Used for centuries in traditional medicine, castor oil penetrates deeper than most, carrying a compound called ricinoleic acid that calms inflammation while stimulating blood flow. Applied to the perineum, it often creates a subtle warmth, a direct sign of improved circulation. Another excellent option is virgin coconut oil. This is especially helpful for men with sensitive skin. It is soothing, antibacterial, and absorbs cleanly without leaving a greasy residue. Coconut oil also contains compounds that support hormone balance and reduce low-grade inflammation, two factors closely tied to erectile health. And let's be honest, it smells much better than castor oil. For those seeking something stronger, black seed oil is worth considering. Rich in thymoquinone, it has been linked to improved blood flow and testosterone support. In Middle Eastern traditions, it was prized for centuries as a tonic for male vitality. While it can be harder to find and more expensive, some men report that it delivers exceptional results. If you want to elevate the experience even further, you can create blends. Mixing castor or coconut oil with a few drops of essential oils adds extra potency. Peppermint invigorates circulation, rosemary awakens nerves, and sandalwood has long been associated with male reproductive health. Just remember, essential oils are concentrated. A few drops per ounce of carrier oil is more than enough. Using oils transforms this massage from a simple technique into a true ritual of care. It's not just your touch at work. It's the therapeutic power of nature joining with your intention. When practiced daily, the results come faster, feel stronger, and last longer. Now that you know how to make this massage even more effective, let's take a step back and answer an important question. Why does such a simple practice actually work? In the next part, I'll explain the science behind it, so you understand what's really happening inside your body. Gentlemen, before we move further, I want to pause and respond to some of your questions from previous videos. I read your comments carefully and I take them seriously, whether they are thoughtful, skeptical, or even playful. Let's dive into a few of them. Question 1, doctor, is this safe if I have an enlarged prostate? That's an excellent concern. Yes, gentle massage of the perineum can actually support prostate health by improving blood flow and reducing congestion. The key is moderation, 1 minute, steady but not forceful. If you ever experience pain beyond mild tenderness, stop and consult your physician. But for most men, this practice eases, not worsens, prostate discomfort. Question 2, this sounds too simple. How can pressing a spot really change blood flow? Fair point. It does sound almost unbelievable until you understand the science. Think of it like loosening a kink in a garden hose. The water was there all along, but the pressure point kept it from flowing. By stimulating this region, you release tension and invite blood back into places that had been neglected. Simple doesn't mean weak. Sometimes simple is exactly what the body responds to. Question 3, so doc, are you really telling us to poke ourselves in the butt for science? Laugh softly, I appreciate the humor. No, this is not about poking yourself. It's about learning how to care for a region of the body that Western culture has taught men to ignore. Call it science, call it tradition, but I call it dignity. And if you can laugh while healing, even better. Question 4, how long before I see results if I'm already in my 70s? Every man's timeline is different, but most men notice subtle changes, more warmth, easier flow. Better sleep within 1 to 2 weeks. The firmer benefits, both literally and figuratively, usually build over 1 to 3 months. Consistency is the secret. Age doesn't disqualify you. If anything, it makes the practice more valuable. Question 5, can women benefit from a similar massage? Yes. While this channel focuses on men's health, women also have a perineal region, and gentle massage can improve circulation, pelvic floor function, and even intimacy. Many couples choose to explore this together, and I encourage that. Gentlemen, keep your questions coming. Type them in the comments whether they are serious or skeptical. I will keep answering because this is how we grow as a community, honestly, openly together. Now that we've cleared the air, let's return to the deeper explanation. Why does this work so well, biologically speaking? The next section reveals the science behind the practice. When you first hear the idea of pressing a single point for just 1 minute a day, it may sound almost too simple to matter. But once you understand the science, the simplicity becomes the strength. Let me walk you through why this practice works so effectively. First, blood flow. Erections depend on rapid, high-volume circulation. By applying gentle pressure and movement on the perineum, you essentially create a pumping effect. Old, stagnant blood is pressed out. Fresh, oxygen-rich blood flows in. Many men report feeling warmth almost immediately, that's circulation being restored. Second, nerve activation. The nerves responsible for erection and sensation pass directly through this region. Over the years, they become compressed by tight muscles, poor posture, or scar tissue. Gentle massage decompresses them, like cleaning the rust off an old electrical wire. Suddenly, the signals of arousal and pleasure travel more clearly, which translates into stronger, more reliable response. Third, prostate support. The prostate sits just above the perineum. When circulation in this region improves, the prostate benefits as well. Blood flow helps reduce congestion, supports hormone activity, and can even ease nighttime urinary frequency. Some of my patients have told me not only did their erections improve, but their trips to the bathroom dropped significantly. Fourth, pelvic floor release. These muscles are often overlooked, but they play a central role in erections, orgasm, and bladder control. Like any other muscle group, they can develop knots and hidden tension. Massage helps relax these trigger points, allowing the entire pelvic system to function more smoothly and with greater power. Finally, there's the nervous system effect. This massage activates the parasympathetic nervous system, the body's rest and restore mode. Stress hormones like cortisol drop, relaxation rises. That's why many men report not only better performance but also calmer moods, clearer thinking, and a deeper sense of well-being. In short, this 1-minute practice works on multiple levels at the same time: circulation, nerves, muscles, the prostate, and even the stress response. That's why something so simple carries such profound benefits. But knowing why it works is only half the story. To truly benefit, you must also know when to practice it and how often. Timing and consistency are what transform this from an interesting tip into lasting results. And that is exactly where we're headed next. One of the most common questions I hear is, "Doctor, when is the best time to do this massage and how often should I do it?" The truth is, timing and consistency make all the difference. From what I've seen in men across their 60s, 70s, even 80s, results build when this practice becomes a ritual, not an experiment. Think of it like exercise. A little every day creates lasting strength, while occasional efforts don't move the needle. Mornings are an excellent time. That's when testosterone levels are naturally highest. By massaging the perineum soon after waking, you align with your body's natural rhythm. Many men report more energy during the day and even firmer spontaneous erections within the first week. Evenings offer a different benefit. A 1-minute massage before bed activates the parasympathetic nervous system, the body's relaxation mode. Stress hormones settle, the pelvic floor loosens, and nighttime erections as well as morning would become more noticeable. I've had men tell me their sleep grew deeper and their mood steadier just by adding this short step before bed. When starting out, I usually recommend every other day for the first week. That prevents irritation and gives your body time to adapt. After that, most men can move comfortably to once daily. And for those who enjoy the benefits, twice daily, morning and night, can bring even greater results. But let me be clear, this is not about duration or pressure. One focused minute done consistently outperforms long, irregular sessions. Consistency is the real medicine. If you're planning intimacy, timing matters too. Performing the massage about 2 to 3 hours beforehand often primes the system without overstimulation. That leaves you ready, confident, and in control. Over time, you'll discover the rhythm that suits your lifestyle. Some men swear by mornings, others by evenings. What matters is that you show up. Think of this as preventive maintenance, like changing the oil in your car. Done regularly, it keeps the system running strong. Now, while timing is essential, so is avoiding the mistakes that can sabotage your progress. In the next section, I'll walk you through the most common errors and how to sidestep them. Gentlemen, let me be very clear. It's not only about what you do, but also what you must avoid. Too many men hear about this practice, get excited, rush in, and then give up because they did it wrong. I don't want that to happen to you, so let me share the most common mistakes I've seen and how to sidestep them. Mistake #1: pressing too hard. Many men believe more force equals better results. That thinking does not apply here. The perineum is delicate tissue filled with sensitive nerves and blood vessels. Push too hard and you'll end up sore or even bruised. Remember, this is gentle encouragement, not brute strength. Think of coaxing, not conquering. Mistake #2: skipping the oil. I know some men like to keep things simple, but oils do far more than reduce friction. They nourish the skin, calm inflammation, and boost circulation. Skipping them means you're leaving half the benefits behind. Even a small amount of coconut or castor oil can transform the experience. Mistake #3: choosing the wrong position. If you're straining your arm, twisting your back, or cramping your hand, you won't stay consistent. Comfort matters. Whether lying down with knees bent, sitting on a chair's edge, or standing with one foot on a stool, find a position where your body can relax. The easier it feels, the longer you'll keep doing it. Mistake #4: giving up too soon. This may be the most damaging. Some men try it for 3 days, don't see a miracle, and quit. That's like planting a seed and expecting a tree by the weekend. This practice is cumulative. Each day builds on the last. Circulation improves, nerves awaken, tension eases, but only if you stay with it. Gentlemen, avoiding these mistakes is just as important as the technique itself. Done properly, you won't feel discouraged, you'll feel encouraged to continue. And with consistency, the rewards arrive not only in the bedroom, but in other areas of life you may not expect. In fact, many men discover benefits far beyond stronger erections. And that's what we'll uncover next. The surprising ripple effects this 1-minute practice can bring into your daily life. Most men begin this practice with one goal in mind: stronger, more dependable erections. And yes, that matters deeply. But what continues to amaze me, even after decades of recommending this, is how many other areas of life begin to improve, often in ways men never expected. The first surprise benefit is better bladder control. That dribbling after urination, the frequent trips to the bathroom at night, those daily frustrations often improve dramatically. By stimulating and relaxing the pelvic floor, you're giving the bladder the support it needs to function properly. I remember a patient in his late 60s who told me he went from waking 4 times a night to only once, sometimes not at all. His wife was just as grateful because for the first time in years they both slept through the night. The second unexpected benefit is relief from chronic pain. The pelvic floor connects to the hips, spine, and even the core muscles. When those hidden muscles are locked tight, they pull on everything around them. By releasing that tension, many men experience freedom from long-standing pelvic or lower back pain. One gentleman in his 70s shared with me that his nagging hip pain, present for 5 years, disappeared after just 3 weeks of consistent practice. Another powerful change is greater stability and endurance. When your foundation, the pelvic floor, functions as it should, your movements in exercise, walking, and even posture become steadier. Men often tell me they feel stronger and more balanced even outside the bedroom. There's also the mental effect. Stress hormones drop when you practice this massage. Blood flow increases. Many men describe a sense of lightness, focus, and confidence they hadn't felt in years. Some even report better moods and clearer thinking, as if the fog of tension had finally lifted. What all of this reminds us is simple. This massage isn't only about restoring performance. It's about reclaiming health, dignity, and quality of life. It's a daily reminder that you are not powerless against time. And while these unexpected benefits are exciting, the real challenge is making sure you stick with it long enough to enjoy them. That's where the next part comes in: how to turn this from a quick experiment into a daily habit you never want to skip. The greatest challenge with any health practice is not learning what to do, it's staying consistent long enough to see results. I've watched men get excited, try the massage for a few days, then let it slip away. Life distracts them, they forget, and the benefits vanish before they even begin. Let me help you avoid that trap. The key is to make this practice feel as natural as brushing your teeth. Think of it not as a treatment, but as daily maintenance, something small that protects you from decline. When you frame it this way, it no longer feels like work, it feels like self-respect. One strategy is habit pairing. Attach the massage to something you already do every day, maybe after your morning shower, before shaving, or just before bed. Anchoring it to an existing routine means you don't need willpower, it becomes automatic. Another strategy is visual reminders. Keep a small bottle of oil in your nightstand or by the bathroom sink. When you see it, you'll remember. Out of sight often means out of mind, but visible reminders make the habit stick. Tracking progress is also motivating. I had one gentleman in his 70s who rated his energy on a scale of 1 to 10 each morning. After a month, he noticed his numbers climbing steadily, and that gave him the push to keep going. You don't need anything fancy. A few notes in a journal can be enough to prove to yourself that the practice is working. Don't get caught in perfectionism. You don't have to perform the massage at the exact same time every single day. If you miss a day, don't double up, just start again. Even 3 or 4 days a week can bring noticeable changes, though daily practice is ideal. Remember, the goal is not only to restore what's been lost, but to preserve what you have now. A prevention is always easier than repair. By making this a ritual, you're investing in your future self, ensuring strength, dignity, and intimacy remain with you as the years advance. Now that you know how to make this habit last, let's turn to the bigger picture, the choice that ultimately rests in your hands. At the end of the day, gentlemen, this all comes down to a decision only you can make. Do you accept decline as the natural course of aging, or do you take an active role in keeping your body strong, alive, and responsive? I've sat across from countless men, some in their 60s, others pushing 80, who felt defeated because pills weren't giving them the results they hoped for. They believed their best years were behind them. Yet, when they embraced this 1-minute practice, something remarkable happened. They realized control wasn't lost. They began to feel like themselves again. Maintaining potency is not about chasing youth. It's about dignity, intimacy, and confidence. It's about knowing that when the moment matters, your body is still able to answer. Think about it, we service our cars, sharpen our tools, even maintain our lawns with care. Yet the vessel that carries us through life, our own body, is too often left neglected. This daily massage is preventive maintenance for your manhood. It isn't flashy and it isn't costly, but it works. It restores circulation, awakens nerves, eases tension, and gives you back the sense of authority over your own health. I recall one man in his late 70s who came to me convinced intimacy was gone forever. After 30 days of consistent practice, he returned with tears in his eyes. Not only was his physical strength returning, but his connection with his wife deepened. He told me, "Doctor, I feel like myself again." That, my friends, is the real promise here, not just stronger erections, but a fuller life shared with joy and confidence. So the choice is in your hands, literally. You can rely on quick fixes, hoping for temporary relief and watch time take its toll, or you can invest a single minute each day into a practice that may change the way you age. Minimal effort. It's extraordinary return. And if you've stayed with me this far, I know which path you're ready to take. In our final section, I'll leave you with one closing message, a reminder that your best years can still be ahead of you. So here we are, gentlemen, at the close of this journey together. We've uncovered why potency fades with age, the hidden role of the perineum, how to find and massage it, the oils that make it more effective, the science behind its power, the timing, the mistakes to avoid, and even the unexpected benefits beyond the bedroom. If you take only one truth from this, let it be this: you are not powerless. 1 minute a day can restore not just function, but confidence, dignity, and intimacy. I've watched this practice transform men who felt lost into men who felt alive again, and I believe it can do the same for you. Think of it as a gift to yourself, 60 seconds that say, "I still matter, my health still matters, my life is not behind me." Because it isn't. The best years don't have to be the ones you've already lived. They can still be ahead, waiting for you to claim them. So here's my invitation: take this knowledge and use it. Make it yours. Press that like button as a sign of commitment, subscribe so you won't miss what's next, and leave a comment, because your words may help another man who is quietly searching for answers. And as always, let me leave you with a blessing. May your body find strength, may your mind find peace, and may your spirit rediscover the joy of living fully as a man. Gentlemen, the choice has always been in your hands. Now the next step is to